Hey, Dylan17. Hey, if you're all right answering a couple questions, I would just like to ask and try to understand your side of why you became transgender and what made you transition. Do you have more specific questions? That's very broad. The short answer of it is that I reached a point in my life where I realized that if I didn't transition, I would die. And so rather than die, I did the thing that would allow me to not die. What is gay? I trans because that was the only way? Yeah, exactly. Most trans people, at least from my generation, and I hope not necessarily like future generations, did it because we were pushed to a point of realizing that either we were going to die or we were going to do an incredibly unpopular thing. You know? Why are you gay? Why has that been making the rounds again on like the memes? Why? Why? Why isn't that like a 10-year-old meme? What do you mean you were going to die? Are you referring to suicide? Yeah, the suicidal ideation was getting worse and worse. Yeah. Despite going to counseling, mental health, therapy, etc. Yeah. Like, imagine knowing that everyone you know and love could wind up rejecting you if you were honest about who you were. You know, and that's just every day of your life. Like, do you think that would make you feel good or bad? Like, I feel like it's not terribly hard to understand, but you know, maybe for some people. Girl, I came out in 98, immediately faced transphobia. Don't come out to transphobic dad. Easy advice from a 35-year-old trans woman. True. Sorry you went and experienced that. Most people I ask why they transition, they have the same answer. Yeah, it's well, it's the thing. The thing is, it would have been a lot easier if I had grown up in an environment where people just let me know that like it was safe to tell them that I was trans, and to be able to pursue it without reaching a point where I was like feeling like I was going to kill myself or die, you know, due to like, you know, the I think the term for it is disease of despair. It's a term that's used for people who turn to alcohol, drugs, etc. It's you know, it'd be nice to not fall into like a point of despair because you know the position you're about to take is so unpopular that everyone around you is going to wish that that you were dead. You know, like I know for like my dad, for example, there's a part of him that wishes like he had a dead son rather than a living daughter. And, you know, knowing that is really difficult. You know, it's difficult for a younger person too, like a teenager, etc. But like it's still difficult as like a full ass adult, you know? And honestly, the thing is, you know, the entire time growing up that you're trans. Most trans people have known since like they were able to form memories. So like there's a part of it where like growing up, you know your entire life that the things you want to express and share with the world and tell people about yourself are unacceptable. Like people are going to beat you or they're going to ostracize you. You're going to miss out on opportunities in either academics or professional life. You're going to, you know, be ostracized from your church, from your family, from your social groups. You know, a lot of people who transitioned, especially like prior to, you know, the 2020s, like you risked losing everything. Like there's a reason why a hugely disproportionate amount of homeless children are LGBTQ, and it's because they get kicked out by their parents when their parents find out that they're gay or trans, and they get disowned, you know? And I find that very, very sad. But that speaks to the great sickness at the heart of, I don't know, American society at large, and more specifically with, like, you know, more fundamentalist religious folk in America, as well as conservative folk in America. Hey, Dylan17, from my experiences, I grew up in an evangelical church, and the main thing it taught me was that I should have extreme amounts of self-loathing, because in that ideological upbringing, they hammer it into you that you are worthless, that you are disgusting and an abomination for existing if you fall against their religious ideas. And it, for people like myself who grow up in that ideological framework, knowing that our very identity is unacceptable to religious people in the evangelical world, by and large, saying, oh, I hope you find Christ. I hope you understand that, like, many of us grew up in that background, and the reason we are not a part of it anymore is because of the extreme levels of hypocrisy shown to us by members of that church, by the people who, you know, are held up as paragons of that religious philosophy and belief. The people representing your religion are the ones who are ostracizing us. They're the ones who are telling us we need to go to, like, conversion therapy camps to be tortured into being straight or cis. I believe in the man who lived 2,000 years ago and sacrificed himself for the forgiveness of the world's sins. Yeah, I'm not terribly interested in a religion that's telling me I'm a fundamentally evil creature for existing. And then whenever I look at the people who practice that religion, I tend to see people who are not living by its tenets and who do not care to pursue those tenets on any kind of societal level. And I'm not compelled by that. Like, I'm not compelled by making appeals to a religious belief that is predicated on me being an abomination and anathema to its deity. It's not really a winning card to play in my book. Yeah, exactly, Brandon the Chihuahua. Like, it's kind of hard as, like, a queer person to put faith in an entity that most people from that religious background interpret as being antithetical to my existence. Now, I know that there are a lot of people out there who have different conceptions of, you know, religion, Christianity in particular, and that's totally fine. I am just speaking from my experience, and my experience is generally that I had to hide who I was for decades. That I had to torture myself to conform for decades. And I'm not particularly interested in doing that again. I'm not particularly interested in introducing anyone that I'm close to that kind of a background to be potentially abused in a similar way. Like, it's fine if, like, that's not the case with your particular belief, but it's not going to be my belief. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to like elaborate this more. But Dylan, that's the thing. That's kind of the problem I have, is that anytime like these entire Christian denominations, misbehave or mistreat or torture or rape or kill or do any of these things, they're fake Christians. And I seem to recall something about knowing what a people and what people are by their fruit that they bear. I seem to recall something about that, and I look around and I see a whole lot of rotten fruit, man. Like, it's very convenient that you happen to know all of the good ones. That's an interesting phenomenon. But I don't find it compelling for myself. Yeah, like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe your energy would be better spent proselytizing to the fake Christians. Attend to your own flock before you start attending to the flocks of others, Get the something, speck of sawdust in somebody else's eye, plank of wood in your own. Something along those lines. I'm just saying, like, maybe get your own house in order before you come knocking to try and get people to come to your house. Dylan, no, you may not. Like, I'm sorry, but if your response to, hey, your church seems really fucked up, is, hey, can I quick leave my conversion story for all of you so that you can join my religious philosophy? No. I'm sorry. Like, if I just told you my problems with it and you, like, don't want to respond to that, like, no, you can't share that. It's abuser shit. I ain't sugarcoating it. Kind of is. Yeah. Like, I need you all to understand that from my perspective here, that person just came into my chat to ask me about one of the most traumatic experiences of my life to try and convert me while I'm working, while I'm at work. Hey, can you tell me about one of the worst things that ever happened to you? About one of the lowest moments of your life while you're at work, so that I can, like, fill up my quota of people I've asked to convert to Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know. Like, that seems pretty fucked up to me. And, like, I know I have, like, dedicated Christians who follow me and watch me, and I love you guys, because there is a very strong history of, like, Christian involvement and, like, religious involvement by all kinds of different belief systems in politics. And I love you guys because I think that you guys are actually doing and putting into practice a lot of the teachings of Christ. When you want to treat others the way that you want to be treated, when you want to feed the hungry, when you want to clothe the shivering, when you want to build houses for the homeless, and instill that in like the policy of the country you live in, I think that is good. I think it is good that you are capable of engaging in a secular society for the benefit of everybody, regardless of what they believe. But unfortunately, that does not seem to apply to an awful lot of people. And so, thank you for bearing with me. I just want to make it clear, I'm not anti-religion. I know there are a lot of people who are. I'm not anti-religion. I'm anti-fundamentalism. And it really grinds my gears when someone tries to use, again, my deepest traumas to try and manipulate me into converting while I'm at work. It's just a bit frustrating. So, hey, Dylan, if you happen to still be watching, I don't think you can because Twitch bars you from watching now if you're banned. Don't do that. Also, Tipster, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. We're just going through our lightning round. And like I like a lot of the teachings of Jesus. By the way, I've read the entire New Testament and most of the Old Testament. I get a little lost in the genealogies, but you know. I think there's a lot to like in there. I just there are some pretty significant flaws that I have difficulty with.
Boo bad chatter. Yay 35 months. River bait Peppa hands.
Metal Kitty Mom, thank you for being subscribed for 35 months. I appreciate you. Appreciate everyone watching too. Salmon Moose, thank you for resubscribing.
How can we all have died at the same time?
Salmon Moose.
I'm pro-Jesus and anti-church. I'm also pro a whole lot of other faiths from throughout human history. Yeah. Really appreciate your words, even when you're speaking to someone who sounds like they're just trying to hurt you. I'm sorry you have to go through this regularly. You know, Rhombus, it goes with the territory. And honestly, when someone joins chat and the very first thing they ask me is something along those lines, I know that they're probably going to go in a direction like that. Tipster just gonna sub and leave a like. Well, chasing dopamine. Thank you very much. In addition to this, a lot of folks don't know how to be polite on the internet, as if it's different from meeting someone face to face and having manners in that situation. Yeah. I'm pro being left fuck alone to practice my religion in the way I see fit. Not gonna lie, I thought it was a genuine question. Yeah, it just usually isn't. I've been burned too many times. Yeah, I've put my hand near that bush a few too many times. You know what I'm saying? Hey.